In this lesson, we're going to take a look at rolling the finger. You're going to use this mostly when you are doing economy or directional or sweep picking on certain arpeggio shapes, but it also helps whenever you are just kind of playing three notes that are all on the same fret, two notes that are all on the same fret, however many there are. So we're going to start out with two notes. And we're going to go to the fifth fret here with our first finger, and we're going to use directional picking to do this. So you're going to pick the first note, which is the fifth fret on the B string. You're going to come down on that. And then you're going to play the E note. Now, if you notice, when I'm playing that E note on the B string here, I've got my finger angled just a little bit so that I'm blocking this string. So even if I hit it, the E string doesn't make any sound, but the B string does. Now is where I roll my finger. And now I've blocked the note that's on the B string, and I can hear the note on the E string. And then I would just do the exact same thing backwards. So I've got and the reason you're doing this is so you can get that note separation. Because if I just go, then it sounds like I'm playing a chord. But that's not the effect we're looking for. We're looking for individual notes. So you're going to do that exercise, and you ideally want to be able to do that with all four fingers. So do this nice and slow in the beginning so that you can get a feel for it. It's going to mess with you just a little bit when you first start doing any kind of directional sweep, that kind of picking, because the pick moves so much quicker. It's harder to kind of rein it in and control it. So not only are you having to get used to this, but you're also having to get used to rolling your finger. Now, when I was starting out, I was really, really bad at this. There were certain sweep arpeggio shapes that I just wouldn't play because I was bad at it. And I could never make them sound good. So, I found other ways to do things. But over the years, I've had to come back and learn how to do that stuff. And it made me realize, well, it's really not that difficult. I just needed to put the time in. And that's just what everything with playing guitar is. None of this is, super difficult. You just have to put the time in and decide that it's something you want to learn how to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our first finger on the fifth fret and do those two strings. And then use our second finger on the sixth fret, do the exact same thing. Third fret, or your third finger on the seventh fret. And then your pinky on the eighth fret. And then go backwards. You can see how we're getting that note separation. So start out that way. Do it with a metronome. Get a nice controlled feel to it. Now, once you feel comfortable with that, don't worry about getting it completely perfect, because the longer you play guitar, the more you're going to realize the idea of perfection is, that will drive you crazy. What you have to become is consistent, and while still striving to become better, start to become happy with your guitar playing. So after you get to that point, go ahead and move and try and do three strings across. You can see I pulled the string off the fingerboard just then. So you got to be careful about that. And three strings is far more difficult than two, because you have to be careful of how you're rolling your finger, because you still want the separation between three notes now rather than just two. So start really slow. So after you become comfortable with this and you start feeling better about the rolling on 3 strings rather than just 2, then go ahead and jump in and try some of the arpeggios for like either the A form of the cage system, the A form triad arpeggios, or maybe even the E form triad arpeggios, because those are the ones where you tend to have that kind of rolling the finger across multiple strings. For example, you've got, and this is going to be your troubled spot, because that's where you're rolling, but you're in the middle of all these other strings. So, go ahead and try that, work through it, and hopefully this helps you out, and I will see you next time.